Welcome to Sacred Tea. I'm Phil, and I'm here to share what I've learned, what I'm still learning, and what I'm leaving behind for my son and anyone else the universe sends this way. So, if you want to create your dream life, manifest with purpose, heal genuinely, or just live a life that feels good, you're in the right place. So, let's get into it. So, today I've been reflecting on the Diddy case again. It's been dominating our timelines, and this just isn't about Diddy. It's about boundaries and what happens when people you love violate those boundaries. I don't know about you. I'm still trying to figure out, how do I hold space for someone that I care about while also holding them accountable for the harm that they cause when they cross certain boundaries. I'm telling you what my boundaries are. I'm telling you, I don't like this, or I don't like that, or I feel uncomfortable when this occurs or that occurs. And you just railroad right through it. Don't even care what I'm saying to you, because I don't know. I couldn't tell you what's going on the other side. I don't know what's in that person's mind, where they just feel as though me telling you what is not acceptable to me, what doesn't make me feel safe, you just run ripshod over that, and then I'm supposed to understand or have some sort of level of understanding for the person who doesn't necessarily seem to have any understanding about me and my feelings. And so what I've noticed is that when someone who is trusted, right, a trusted person, crosses your line, right, the damage that's done is like a soul wound. And once they keep doing it and over and over again, it just cuts really deep. So, what do you do when it's clear that someone has crossed your boundary, has caused you emotional pain? What are we going to do? We're going to stay quiet, keep the peace, because, that's not healing. That's a self-sacrifice. And you're already sacrificing yourself by being in a relationship with someone who consistently and constantly cross those boundaries. So what do we do? Love doesn't mean tolerance. It doesn't mean that we just keep forgiving and, more or less forgetting. Grace is sacred, but so is truth. Real love respects boundaries. It does. So again, the question is, how do you hold someone that you love to those boundaries that you set? The first thing you need to do is acknowledge it. Say, hey, man, I didn't like that. That's not sitting well with me. You know, at least to yourself. I don't like this. This ain't what it is. And then, possibly this person crossed the line. And why didn't I say anything about it? Why didn't I speak up? I need to be true to myself. And the truth is, I don't like it. And I don't care what anybody else have to say about it. I don't like it. You need to make sure that you fully understand and confront yourself with the truth first, because accountability is going to start with clarity. And you can't talk to somebody else if you're unsure, unclear, or not, you don't know where the problems were. Okay. Then secondly, you got to go and you got to, address the person and say, hey, I want this to be ultra clear about what didn't feel okay with me, X, Y, Z, blah. When you did X, it crossed the boundary and it wasn't cool. Don't try to soften the blow. Don't try to turn this into a debate of some sort. Speak with authority, okay? Because you've already had the clarity from before. Not aggression. Don't go over there and be like, and I'm about to set the record. No, 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 no. We're doing this with firm, sacred energy. Name the impact, not just the action. They need to know, okay? So something along the lines of, when you did whatever, call me outside of my name, I felt disrespected, or whatever your scenario is. Whenever you did X, felt dismissed, felt unsafe, whatever, right? Because now it makes it personal and real. There is a weight to it, okay? And it's not just words that we're just talking about, oh, this, that, blah, whatever. Words in and out. Okay? Make them feel the impact of what you're stating. And then make the boundary very, very clear. So moving forward, they understand, hey, if you cross this line again, there will be consequences, okay? Because without clear consequences for these boundaries, they're just suggestions, okay? And we're not suggesting that this is a preference I have. No, this is hardcore stuff I need from you, okay? So, if you have to talk to someone and say, hey, this is what I'm going to need going forward, if this relationship is going to remain safe for me, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to need you not to call me outside my name. If you want us to remain friends, you want us to remain cordial, this is what I'm going to need from you. And here, if you decide that you're going to keep calling me outside of my name, I'm just going to block you. I'm not going to talk to you anymore. And that's that. Because accountability means you're going to be willing to act in your own protection. You're going to have to be your own protector. We can't wait for someone to come outside from somewhere and decide that they're going to come and protect us. It doesn't work that way. And remember, we're going to stay consistent. This is not a performance, okay? Because it doesn't stop because, they stop calling you out your name for a month or two. No, this is the boundary that is set. You're either going to respect me as an individual or I'm not dealing with you, or whatever your consequences may be, okay? Because if you are like wishy-washy on it, all it's going to do is just let this person know you're not serious. You're just talking just to be talking. Maybe you found, a little bit of self-respect from somewhere, and, now that phase is over. It's not a phase. This is not a situation where you get to pick and choose or whatever, what's going to happen. Not a mood that I was in. This is real life. I don't like it. And don't cross the boundary, or else I'm going to be gone. Your energy has to match your boundary. Okay? Don't confuse empathy with enabling, because you can love someone deeply, but still require them to change. Okay? And if they can't see your pain and, protect your peace, then, hey, just move along. That's spiritual maturity. It's not cruelty. Okay? They may think it's cruel. Okay? But that's just what it is. Okay? And, don't have an outcome attached to it. They may just say, you know what? I don't want to deal with you. And that's fine. Because your job is to honor your soul. Even if, they don't recognize it right away. That's your job. Okay? So the final takeaway is this. Love without accountability leads to erosion. Your boundaries are sacred. Draw the line, speak the truth, honor your soul. If this resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Go ahead, subscribe, share it with someone who needs a moment of reflection too. And if you want to be a part of the conversation, send in a voice note. So your story might be the next one we sip on together. Until then, stay grounded, stay open, stay sacred, and sip slow.